Hey guys, Kris here. In this video, I'm going to give you guys an exterior and interior tour of my brand new Audi E-Tron GT. Well, I picked this car up a few weeks ago, but I took it right down to Germany, to Munich, well, to do a large European road trip. So I haven't had the chance to show you guys this car before now. And if you haven't seen my European road trip with this car blasting through the Autobahn, there will be a link in the description box down below. And also guys, I'm giving away a Zaptec Go home charger worth about 7,000 kroners, 700 euros, $800 or 600 pounds. So if you want to be entered into winning that, you have to subscribe down below. And once we hit 30,000 subscribers, I will be giving it away to one lucky subscriber. So guys, without further ado, let's jump into the tour of my E-Tron GT. Before we start the actual tour, I want to thank my friends at Mittdekkhotell for ceramically coating the paint of my E-Tron GT. They are also the sponsor of today's video and giving me this coating so I can show you guys, and also it protects the car. So this is a two-stage ceramic coat that has been applied after washing and polishing the car. So even though this is a brand new car, it will have micro scratches here and there. They make the car look immaculate, and then they also apply this two-stage coating by Arctic Coating, which should not only protect the paint, but it also gives it this shine and gleam that you just don't get standard from the factory. And trust me guys, it looks so much better now. It's just shiny, the color pops even more. It looks beautiful, but it also protects the paint from weather, and it makes the car much easier to keep clean. I've been talking to a lot of friends of mine who have, ceramic coatings on their car, and they say when the car gets dirty, you just go to a pressure wash, a self-service place, and you can just wash the car easily. The dirt just, falls off with just using water. So I can't wait to put that to the test later on in the fall. And guys, there will be a link in the description box down below if you want to get your car, well, ceramically coated. I would highly recommend that. It costs, a little bit of money, but a brand new car like this, protecting the paint will, make it much more resistant to, well, scratches. Like this is an EV, so if I'm going to pull the cable over here where you have the charge port, sometimes the cable will lie over here. This will actually protect the paint instead of, well, scratching the paint. That's why you have this coating. So there will be a link in the description box down below where you guys can get 10% discount with the ceramic coating here from Mittdekkhotell. Okay guys, enough about that. Let's jump into the actual tour. So this, as I said, my E-Tron GT, this is the standard one, not the RS, and it is in Suzuka gray metallic. So in this lighting, it does look white, though it looks a bit more gray after I got this ceramic coating. So it looks really cool. I love this color. So in daylight, it looks white, but as the sun sets, it becomes more and more gray. It is a beautiful color, and I'm so glad that, well, I chose a car that was Suzuka gray instead of white. This also has the black optics package, so you can see that the grille is black, the insert is black, and we also have black mirrors, which is also an option. And we also have the panoramic sunroof, which gives us a black roof, black around, well, the windows, and also the side skirt here down below is black. So what we're missing are black Audi rings. So you can see if we got the black optics package plus, we would have gotten black rings in front and also black rings in the rear. But actually the place actually well, I think maybe we're gonna have them installed a little bit later on. But look how clean and immaculate this car looks. It looks better than when I picked it up even. It looks so beautiful. So we also have the 20-inch wheels on this car. So they are two 45/45/20s in front and two 85/40/20s in the rear. So some real huge and large wheels. And just, taking a step forward here, you can see those amazing DRLs. These are the matrix LEDs. So these are not the laser lights, but still those DRLs look pretty cool. We also have the assistant package tour, which gives us adaptive cruise control and auto steer. You can see the radar sits there. And I just love the look of this car, the black and white, it looks like a stormtrooper. It is so cool. And in real life, this thing looks so beautiful. We're now in efficiency mode, which puts the car all the way down on its suspension, and it looks beautiful. I love the look of this car. I've seen, you know, white and black in photos, but when you see this thing in real life, it's so much prettier. It's a really stunning car. And you can see how, well, low it is and, well, the sleek lines. You have here, actually, this is an air blade or an air skirt that lets air through here. And then on this side, we have the AC charging port here. And then on the other side, guys, we have AC and DC fast charging. So here you have CCS. Be asking, heck, did they put the CCS port on this side while the driver sits on that side? Because on the big Audi E-Tron, my previous car, it had the CCS port here. Well, I was able to ask the product chief at Porsche for Porsche Taycan, which this car is basically. It's a Taycan underneath. This car has been developed by Porsche for Audi, and Audi have put this exterior and this interior on this car. So this is basically a Porsche. I'm going to show you guys something later, which is quite funny. Well, I asked him when I met him down in Germany, I'm like, why did Porsche put the CCS port on the other side? And he said, it's because the Porsche 911 has its fuel filler cap on that side. So it's a bit of a fun fact, not too practical. I've gotten used to it, so I don't mind it too much, but it would be better to put it here. So it's kind of dumb, but at the same time, it's kind of a fun story. So let's take a look, you know, at the back side. This is the most beautiful, I don't know, I like all angles of this car, but it looks really nice from here. Look at this, guys. It sits so low, and look at those wide tires. The E-Tron GT, I think, looks better than the one you have on the Porsche Taycan. Overall, it's a super beautiful car. Maybe the prettiest car I have owned. And I do prefer this to the normal Porsche Taycan. But let me know in the comment section down below, do you like this better or the normal Taycan? And also we can throw the Taycan Cross Turismo into the mix. When we do that, I'm not quite sure. I don't know which one I do like, but I'm leaning a little bit towards this one. It's a really beautiful design. Now let's take a look at the interior. Before we do that, I'm going to show you guys the key that I have here in my pocket. It's a standard Audi key with the E-Tron badging on the side here. So this car, you can lock it with the key, you can unlock it, you can also double tap here to open the trunk, but we're going to take a look at the trunk a little bit later on in the video. But this car also has keyless go, keyless entry, so you can just put your finger here to lock it. You can do that on all four doors, which is always nice, and then you can put your hand behind the door handle to open it. This car doesn't actually have folding mirrors, to my surprise. Not that it doesn't matter, but it doesn't. You do have the animation here though, but it doesn't actually fold the mirror, so that's quite funny. But okay, let's hop inside and take a look at the interior. So first, you're presented by the frameless doors. This is pretty nice, and also even with frameless doors, that's a very solid clunk. Nice weight, nice mechanical feel to the door. Yeah. Really, really nice. So this car has the it has the Dinamica 550 interior. I always struggle with pronouncing that. So we have microfiber and then we have faux leather. The only place we have real leather is on the steering wheel. The rest of the interior is, well, is vegan. So I don't know why they didn't do the steering wheel in the same microfiber cloth. Maybe because it's not as, you know, durable on a steering wheel. But okay, so what we do have, we have, you know, faux leather here on top of the doors. And then we have it on the inserts here, and then also on the armrest, and then we have soft touch plastics below. So, I mean, quality is superb. You can get this car with the upgraded fine Nappa interior, that's the level up. And this is one level up from the standard interior. So it's pretty nice. It's not the nicest in the range of the E-Tron GTs, but it is pretty nice. And the stitching here is nicely done. It just feels high quality. You also have this graphite insert here on the doors. You have the same on the dashboard, but everything just feels high quality. You have an aluminum grab handle here, door release, and then you have your lock unlock buttons, and then you have automatic switches up and down for all four windows. And then you also have child locks here, which are electronic. This is a nice addition if you have children. And then you have heated mirrors, and you also have the mirror controls there. And then you have the release button for the trunk. This car, as you guys can see, does not have the Bang & Olufsen sound system. This has the Audi sound system, which actually is quite decent to my surprise. I was a bit worried getting a car without the Bang & Olufsen that the sound system would be crap, but it's actually not crap. It's actually quite decent. So stepping in and looking at the rest of the interior, this has the E-Tron GT scuff plates. This is an option. And yeah, we have the carpets down there. Everything is just really nice and immaculately done. This has the Sport Seats Plus, so you get the lumbar support, which you can adjust in and out, up and down. You can also adjust the seat back. You can also adjust the height and also the tilt of the seat. And then you have the lumbar support, which extends there electrically. These are really nice seats, and actually the same seats you get in the Porsche Taycan when you choose the 18-way sport seats. But what you're lacking here compared to the Porsche is that you cannot adjust the side support here, or in and out, and you can't adjust the headrest either. Other than that, the seats are the exact same, though you have a different pattern. I do like this microfiber cloth, and even though my car, yes, it is new, but it's actually done 9,000 kilometers now. Yes, I have done insane miles with it on the road trip. It still looks brand new, and there's no wear anywhere to be seen. This also has this is standard, but it's the sports steering wheel in other Audis. It looks really nice. It has perforated leather on the side and has smooth leather on the top. I'm actually not a huge fan of Audi's perforated leather. I think it's too coarse. I think other brands do that better. So I'm glad it actually has the smooth leather portion on the top and also the bottom, because some E-Tron GTs I've had, which have been press cars, have this all the way around, and in my opinion it's a little bit too much, so I'm glad this does not have it. Okay, so let's take a step inside. I'm just gonna adjust the seat back a little bit, and as you guys can see, you do sit very low in the cabin, though forward and sideward visibility is actually quite good, though rear visibility, well, there's something left to be desired. So you're presented by the MMI screen here, which is 12.3 inches. It's a beautiful screen. I'll show you guys that more in another video where I give you guys a tour, but I can just turn on the ignition so you at least can light it up. And then we have the, is it 10.1 inch or 10.5 inch MMI touch infotainment system. This is one of my favorite infotainment systems. It just works immaculately. It's a really reliable system. I've had it in several Audis, and also you can see just the resolution and the black levels are pretty nice in these in this infotainment system. And what's really cool here is that you have physical buttons. This is so cool. So you have physical climate control buttons. This does not have the ventilated seats, so you actually have a sync button there. If this wouldn't have that, you wouldn't have a sync button. I've at least not found one in the cars that have ventilated seats. So that's a pro for not having ventilated seats, that you have your own sync button there, which I do like. But these are really nice, clicky, mechanical buttons, and then you have your vents down here. You do have, black gloss plastics up here, which I don't mind too much, though sometimes the glare can hit your eyes from the sun. It's actually easy to keep clean, and since it sits up high, it's not a touch point. Worse off is, though, this section here of glossy black plastic, which, well, I should have asked them to put the coating on this. Maybe I can do that later on. That's another video, because this will scratch up easily, and it actually looks quite new now. Have they polished this? You know what? It looks like they have actually polished this and put some coating on it, because this looks newer and nicer than I can remember. That's a real recommendation. If you can get this polished and coated, because this scratches so easily. Yeah, it feels smoother. I think they have done that. Kudos to them. That is really cool. So you have your physical buttons down here. You have your gear selector. You have your park there, and you also have your on switch. Though this car turns on automatically off of when you get into the car. It's pretty nice. And you also have this touchpad down here for volume. So you can scroll it like that to turn up and down the volume. And you can also mute it there, and you can also turn it off. Other Audis have had a physical button there, which I do prefer, but this actually works quite well. And then you have on the side of the center console here, you have soft touch plastic materials, and then you have more of that faux leather. And also here, the steering wheel on the left side, you have your controls for your trip computer, so you can change the view of that here. You can also, go like that and then change the view. I do prefer this view. Pretty nice, pretty easy, clicking nice, menus, and you can also, scroll between there. And then you have your audio controls here on the right side. And you have a programmable button, which is quite stupid because look at this. If I hold it, I know this is in Norwegian, but these are the shortcuts you can make it. You can turn on and off navigation messages. You can change the color to night or day, or you can turn on and off traffic messages, or you can change radio media. Why? What I want is I want this. If you go in there, and then you go there, and then you go there, and then you go there. So like pressing 16 times, you get the battery percentage. If I could program this button to shortcut there, I would be happy. But you don't have a readout here for battery percentage, even though you have that in the Q4 E-Tron. Audi, what are you doing? This is a brand new car. This is actually older than the Q4 E-Tron I tested this summer. And that had that readout in percentage down there in the corner. Why doesn't this car have that? That is so stupid. And that I'm not allowed to also make a shortcut, that is even more stupid. At least in the big E-Tron, you had a secondary screen down here where you could put shortcuts. But okay, enough about that rant. The rest of the interior, pretty nice, high quality materials. Here you have, hard touch plastics, I don't mind. And then you have a glove box here, which is covered by felt and dampened. But the rest of the interior is pretty nice. You can see these seats are beautiful, I do like them. And then you also have a black headliner where you have this very beautiful and nice fabric. And what's funny, from the belt line up, this is basically Porsche Taycan. It's identical, the exact same parts, the same buttons and everything. And you also have the panoramic sunroof on this car, so it's really nice and beautiful and expansive. So let's take a look at the rear seats. And what you have to be careful about, I've seen other reviews, is that this sticks out. I've actually managed to, I hit my leg here once. I don't know how I was able to do that. I hit my leg on the way in or out, and I actually got bruised. So let's take a look at the rear seats. Okay, I'm gonna put that seat forward, and also my daughter's unicorn hair thing, whatever you call that. Yeah, and her toys also. So I'm just gonna, I have to remember that. So okay. Then we have the rear seats, and this seat is set waist back. And again, this is not the biggest cabin. As you guys can see, again, I'm not the tallest person, but I barely have headroom. Friends of mine who are above 6 feet, like 6'1" and 6'2", have sat in the rear here. They actually touch here. I'm just able to, fit my head here. So if you're above 6 feet, this may feel a bit tight, though legroom is actually not bad. This seat is set back to maybe somebody who's around 6 foot now, maybe a little bit less, and you actually have decent room here. And actually, the seat feels, the seat back doesn't feel too close to you as it can in other cars, though these seats are quite massive, so it does feel a bit cramped in here. Yeah, very solid door closing feel. But okay, I mean, it's not the biggest car. Again, this is a sports car, though it is long. You have your armrest there. Oh, let's see if we can, yes, there's a button there. And then you have cup holders. These are quite stupid because, yeah, you can see your elbow will, fall into the cup holders. Not the most comfortable. This does not have the rear seat heated package, but you do have 3-zone climate control, so you can have your own temperature behind here and also have your own vents here. So that is pretty nice. Seats do feel comfortable. Yeah, actually very, very comfortable. I could get comfortable behind here for a longer trip. The ride quality in this car is amazing. But overall, rear seat quality is pretty nice. You do have a middle seat here. I actually had 3 children abreast here. My daughter and a child sit there, and 2 a little bit older children around 8 years old sitting here, no problem at all. So if you're 3 children and you're considering an E-Tron GT, you can actually fit them. Okay, so before we take a look at the front and the trunk, I'm just gonna put this back. So before we take a look at the front and the trunk, rear door materials also really nice, the same as the front door. Full leather here, different quality faux leather here, and also faux leather here. And then you have soft touch plastics and also non-branded audio system. Automatic up and down for the rear windows. It's pretty nice. So let's take a look at the front. And what's nice there is that when you open the door, and I struggled to find this, so usually you have a release down here, with a lot of cars, but here you have a button. So this is pretty nice. And then it opens up here, and then you have the latch here on this side. You push it to the right, and then you have 81 liters. This is one can of Pepsi Max. You can actually fit 3 more here. Believe me guys, I have tested. So this is a huge frunk. I mean, considering that a lot of cars don't have frunks at all, 81 liters is pretty decent. I'm not complaining. You can actually put, you know, a bag here. You can put a carry-on. But what I'm going to show you guys is this. When you open up this, it says Porsche here. That is pretty funny because this car is made by Porsche. So what I did the other day, a friend of mine, they were out doing a photo shoot with a Taycan 4S. And I took this from my car and then I put it into the Taycan. It fit perfectly, of course, it's the same part. So that is quite funny. So you have this huge frunk that is pretty nice. And this, yeah, you can close it with one hand, but you have to hold there in the middle. So lastly guys, let's take a look at the trunk and also the spoiler. I'll show you guys the spoiler. So you have your own button here. So you have a drop down here. Let's see, and then the spoiler goes up. You guys can see the spoiler. That's what that looks like. Pretty cool. It actually gives the car much better stability at high speed. So the first day I took my E-Tron GT down to Germany, I wasn't using the spoiler. The car was stable up to 248, 249 kilometers, which was the top speed. But once I, deployed the spoiler, it just honkered down. The steering became heavier and it just became even more stable. So this has real function at high speed, this spoiler. So you have electronically or electrically release for the trunk. You can also lock the car from here with the comfort access. And this trunk here is around 420 liters. Not the biggest, but it is quite deep. It's not too high, but it's actually quite decent. I have no problems with fitting a child seat here and also, suitcases and stuff like that. And you also have large underfloor storage here. So here I actually have my cooler. 12-volt cooler. I also have my Dyson here, but this is a decent size, this trunk here. So with this and also the trunk up front it's around 500 liters, and that is very impressive. You have a 12-volt outlet here. Yeah, that is pretty impressive guys. That trunk, 500 liters is nothing to complain about. So there we go guys, that was my exterior and interior tour of my brand new Audi E-Tron GT. Let me know what you think of it down below. Would you choose a different color? Would you choose a different car, a different spec? Did I forget anything you guys wanted to see? I'm so curious to know. Let me know in the comment section down below. And also guys, before we end the video, again, a huge thanks to today's sponsor, Mittdekkhotell, for giving me this ceramic coating to make this video and to protect the car and the paint. So if you want to get that, there will be a link in the description box down below. You'll get 10% discount, which is, well, that is a lot guys. So thanks you so much for Mittdekkhotell. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, as always guys, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.